is Vista Mayor John Franklin. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. So first, let's talk about this particular measure, what it says, and why it's being brought up for a vote tonight.
So this measure will create a policy in Vista that will bar federal law enforcement officers from areas of our city properties, including City Hall. And this is it's a symbolic measure, but it's one that, if passed, says that the people of Vista don't believe our federal law enforcement officers can uphold the oath they took to the Constitution to uphold and defend the due process rights enshrined in the Constitution. I trust our federal law enforcement officers, and this measure in a town, we're a border town, we're only 50 minutes away. We have a lot of cartel crime, we have human trafficking, we have tens of thousands of pounds of narcotics that are seized that kill our citizens every year in this region. We need our partnership with federal law enforcement. Making a political statement that we don't support federal law enforcement is outrageous in this border community.
I mean, we say it's mostly symbolic, but when you talk about barring federal law enforcement from even City Hall, that has consequences.
And we have no idea what the implications of this policy will be. I've spoken to different law enforcement officials at the federal level who've made me keenly aware, and as I didn't need to know already, or I knew already, that there are many instances where they don't need our permission to come into our facilities because they have the force and right under law. We're getting, as a city council, into debating areas of law and constitution that are well over our heads, making policies that will have far-reaching implications. But again, I go back to the disrespect to every person who's ever sworn an oath to wear a badge and uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States and of California, to uphold the laws of our nation and of our state. We should be trusting our law enforcement officers to do their job professionally, and we have a remedy for if your rights are violated. It's our court system. Our courts are functioning. We see that. We have every day we're reading about stories where the court is holding the administration accountable and dialing back their powers. So we have an adversarial system of checks and balances. We need to go back to civics class. We need to trust our judicial system. We need to trust our federal law enforcement officers, who are not politicians. They are upholding laws that have been on the books since Eisenhower and Carter. These are not new laws. And Barack Obama deported 3.2 million people. Joe Biden deported 1.4 million people. Trump has only deported 575,000 people. I'm not here to debate federal policy. If people don't like the laws that are on the books in the federal government, they should contact their congressman. And our city council shouldn't be debating the federal law. If we don't like it, we should write to our congressman. But we should all agree that upholding the law, the rule of law, evenly, without discrimination, without fear, without favor, that should be our position. But particularly, the men and women of law enforcement deserve our support and trust.
Well, which city council member brought up this measure, and do you think it is more in statement against what we're seeing from the Trump administration and policies with immigration enforcement? And obviously it is a hot button issue that has been all over the television. Is it more of a statement against that, in your opinion?
Well, Councilmember Karina Contreras brought this originally. Councilmember Dan O'Donnell has been driving it forward. I'm hopeful that we can convince him to change his mind tonight. He told people when he got elected that he wasn't a radical, but that he was a moderate. But he's proving, if he votes for this, that he is a radical extremist. You know, we have 1,500 people that have spoken up to say they don't want this. We absolutely do not need this policy. It's wrong-minded, and I'm asking people to come to Vista tonight at 5:30 for our city council meeting and tell people they don't want it.
Is there opportunity for public discussion tonight?
Absolutely. Every person that comes tonight will have an opportunity to speak. This is the only item on tonight's agenda. So I'm asking all the common sense people in our community, show up and speak up, not for the right or the left. Speak up for our federal law enforcement officers and speak up for common sense. If we don't start speaking up, and we let the shrill ultra minority convince us that all of our police are against us and that the community doesn't have law enforcement's back, shame on us. We need to speak up. Common sense, ordinary people need to speak up and speak out.
So this is happening tonight at 5:30 at
City Hall in Vista.
Vista City Hall, and there will be an opportunity for public comment. Mayor John Franklin, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it this morning.